saying. We can. Okay, why do you think Naruto wins?
Naruto, I think just up skills, I guess. Attacks is probably too.
I think my thing is like I think Saitama outscales. Okay, firstly, do you like
You want to
need it?
skill first?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, just before that, like, do you need any like AP cap or like maximum scale for AP? Like, do you need any of that?
Not really.
Okay, word. Where do you think Naruto scales? Just give me like the tier you're going to be using in the debate.
Like universal for the. I pretty much consider those to be the same thing. So just pretty much
Uh,
that.
I think I think that's fine. I'm just drop like two scans. I think Saitama is like outer versal. Firstly, do you agree with like platonic concepts being outer versal at least? Like, I'll get to like the other part in a bit, but like, do
On the
you?
concept,
Yeah, I'm transcending a platonic concept. Yeah.
um, I don't know. Uh, I agree with like the platonic concept of space and time being universal. I don't think like all platonic concepts be universal.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just go over it. Wait, SRW. Can you judge it now or something?
Yeah, I can judge for you.
Okay, word.
I bet.
Yeah, I'll just like post two scans. So, what he says here is what Jenna here is what Saitama. Firstly, he makes two statements, right? Firstly, he says Saitama would have had to transcend time and space, and the second statement is he's also transcending the law of causality. So what he's like, okay, so he's basically like building a correlation between transcending time and space and the law of causality. So this is like blatantly implicative of like that kind of a law that like is transcendent of time and space, right? Do you have any
Yeah.
disagreements with this? Like only this part?
Um. Yeah, you like transcending time and space and all that. I don't think that means he's like higher dimensional or anything though.
Yeah, no, I'll get
I
to
think it's
that,
just like
but
a
like,
type of pass. All right.
no, 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 no,
Yeah, I
no,
can
no. Do you
agree.
wait? I'll just give you a claim, and you can tell me if you have any like disagreements with that. So my claim is currently like the law of what's it called? Fucking causality that he's mentioning is transcendent over time and space in this context. Are you fine with that?
Wait, what? Off of what?
Huh? No, off of the correlation. Like, firstly, he makes the claim that Saitama was transcending time and space, and secondly, he makes another claim that Saitama was transcending the law of causality. So he's essentially like building a correlation between the two claims. So like the correlation would basically be this is a law that like requires transcendental, sorry, I don't know, transcending of time and space to like.
Yeah, I'd agree with that so far. Yes.
Oh, you would agree? Okay, what? So I just think that this is blatantly implicative of like this law being like what's it called? Fucking a platonic law, because platonic ideals are also like in their very nature like fucking, firstly, abstract propositions, secondly like governing over time and space. Like, for
Okay.
example,
Before we get into all of that, I think we probably have a disagreement where I don't think the skill set is a pure thing. I think when they see like transcending space and time, it's referring to his punch being able to like attack like in the path. So he
huh?
punches somebody, and then it's the punch like the technique he used where he's like punching in the path.
Well, I mean, I don't really care about that because, like, if this goes through, like, this basically scales his existence to outer versal. So,
I don't think issues. I don't think it skills his existence or AP. I think it's just referring to his past and being able to punch it with his back in the future, right? Because it's literally called a
yes,
technique,
wait, hold
and
on.
we
Wait,
already
that wouldn't be that's not what it's in reference to, because we literally like, okay, Genos makes this statement, right? Okay, your ability to transcend and manipulate the laws of causality. So like the fucking punch part, that's referenced by his fucking like manipulation of causality. But he's probably saying like, okay, you were able to manipulate causality, but as a byproduct you were just able to like fucking transcend the laws of causality.
yeah,
Like,
and I think that's yeah, I think that transcendence doesn't like skill to his AP or anything. That's my issue. I
what?
think
Oh,
that I think
hold on. So if there's like,
uh, before we
huh?
even get into this, before we before we even get into this, I don't I don't think like Jonas would be a reliable statement outside of what he
Okay, my
observed. And all
guy.
he observed was like,
What?
wait,
Okay.
was that Jones even there when the whole transcending space time shit happened? Was like the punch and all that?
Yeah, I'll just prove to you why Genos is like okay, why this statement is like a most likely hypothesis, right? Because like okay, firstly, this hypothesis basically makes multiple like claims or entailments, right? Like okay, it has three or four claims. First is transcending time and space. Second is transcending causality. Third is manipulating causality, and the other is the final claim is he like went back in time or whatever, right? So basically two of these entailments the manipulating causality and the going back in time part, we know those to be objectively true. So if there's a
Yeah,
hypothesis,
that's fine.
no, wait, hold on. If there's a hypothesis and like it has multiple
Okay, wait, repellent. Before we get into, I'm asking you a question. So all of this is just like in context of the genocide. Was I don't recall what's his name. I don't recall him being there. I don't recall
okay,
like Jones
hold on.
being there during the
Wait,
fight.
firstly, he was okay. Two things. Like just let me finish with this because like firstly, I'm pretty sure he was there. Secondly, what's it called? Like, uh, like he doesn't need to like witness the events to actually make a hypothesis that's most likely to be true, right? Like, which is what I was going to get into. So I was basically just saying that okay, if we agree that like two of his four entailments are true, and then we don't have any objective inference for the other like entailments, then we can just say that off of the other entailments being true, this hypothesis most likely still leads to the other like the
I
to the
disagree with
okay, why not?
that. Huh? I think we should take these okay case by case basis. I don't
I
think
don't
for him
I don't
okay
think we
just
should
because
do
he's
case by
making
case. No, I
let
don't
me
think
finish
he
what I'm
can.
saying.
Wait.
Repellent, let me finish what I'm saying. Holy shit.
No, but like let me just like I know your response, so like I'll just like clarify and you can respond to that. How about that? So I was just saying, I don't think we can go case by case here because, like, okay, he's making multiple claims, but the whole thing is, like, he's using the same reasoning for that claims. The basis for the claims he's using is the same. The basis is the multiverse theory and like the events, like sorry, the perception of events in his mind. So like whatever information he has. So if the basis for four claims is true, and two of those claims are like sorry, if the basis for four claims is the same and two of the four claims are true, then the other two claims can still be like inferred from the truthfulness of like the other two. Do you understand that? So it's not just like four different claims. Those are like four correlated claims.
Okay, so my interpretation is there's just one factual event that happened. Saitama fought yeah, I forgot his name.
Uh,
Gyro,
Garu.
Gyro, right? Gyro,
Yeah.
whatever his name is. His name Gyro, right? And during that fight, he learned this technique where he can punch back in time. And off of that one event, what's his name? Genos is making multiple what do we call it? Multiple things. But off of that one event, we know only like we the thing we know was actually correct was that he was like transcending like space and time, or
Okay.
he's like
I
manipulating. That's
can
the only thing we know
respond.
that's actually correct. We have
Okay.
no reason to assume his other hypotheses are correct.
Okay, what? I can just respond to this very quickly. So you're claiming that like Genos's information of like Saitama, what's it called, punching Garo or whatever, he's going off of that, right? So like again, I literally explained. Okay, it just runs into two issues. Firstly, I literally explained why that's not the basis. I gave you what the basis was. The basis is like, it's blatantly stated. It's merely a hypothesis based on the so-called parallel world theory or the multiverse theory and so on and so forth. Firstly, that's the basis. Secondly,
How
what
does that
you
correlate? How
wait,
does
hold
the
on.
multiverse theory correlate to
Yeah,
him
I'll
transcending space?
yeah, just hold on, my guy. So as I was saying, secondly, like your basis, the basis that you were like trying to add on, that just contradicts like the nature of his hypothesis because he can't use X, for example, as the basis for the hypothesis and then come to the same conclusion X. Like I'm like that's like saying, oh, based on X, I believe X is true. So if we already know that an entailment of his hypothesis or like the conclusion of his hypothesis is X, then X can't be the basis for his hypothesis. Do you understand that? Like, do you
I
understand?
disagree with that. I disagree with
Why not?
that.
Okay,
All
why?
he's saying X is X, right? See, he's he's making what you call it, multiple different claims off of a single event. So what you call it, he's making a he's trying to make a like a hypothesis that's describing what happened during that fight. And I think only one of those like hypothesis, descriptions, whatever you want to call it, is correct based off of that fight.
Huh?
At least from what we saw.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so if he makes, okay, if he's up, like, if he's trying to describe, if he's trying to like describe an event or whatever, and he gives four different claims for like what is like likely to be the case or whatever. Now, if one of them is proven true to be the case, then that does not imply that that thing was the basis for his claim. That just means that, okay, he made a conclusion and that conclusion was true. That in
Okay,
fact
so what do you think is the base? Okay, okay, that's fine. What do you think is the base of his claim then?
the basis for his claims is the hypothesis the parallel worlds theory and the multiverse theory and his perception of the events, all in like I don't know, fucking like a what's it called, in a tandem here, in tandem here.
Okay, so you're saying his the basis for his hypothesis is his multiverse theory, and after that he's saying Saitama manipulated causality, and he transcended space and time, and he transcended the concept or the law of causality.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
I'll be fine with that being the structure of his hypothesis, but that's not necessarily what I'm saying.
Then what are you saying?
Okay, okay, all I'm trying to do right now is justify why his claims would be like very likely to be true, right? Now, what I'm using is an inductive argument. I'm saying that, okay, if he has a hypothesis and like he makes, I don't know, fucking like four entailments, right? Now the second premise is, okay, two of those entailments are true. The fucking Then the conclusion would basically be that the other two entailments would also be probably true. So like that's all I'm saying. Like I'm not bringing the
Um.
basis into this. Or the only reason I brought the basis into this was because you said it was something different, so I was just refuting it.
Okay. So I'll concede. I'll concede on the basis of his fight being just the Zoro and Saitama fight. It's like the whole multiverse shit. Yeah. But what's like the correlation between the multiverse theory and Saitama
I
transcending
don't
space
need
and
to
time? I don't.
specify it. I don't need to specify. It can just be, okay, Genos has a perception of the parallel worlds theory or the multiverse theory
Okay,
in the
but that makes no sense. That
wait,
makes
wait, wait,
wait.
hold
That
on.
makes
Hold on.
legit.
No way. I mean, you can't say it doesn't make any sense if you haven't even heard my reasoning. Okay, so as I was saying, what's it called? Genos can just have a perception of the multiverse theory and the parallel worlds theory or whatever in his mind, and like how it works in the context of One Punch Man. Now that firstly doesn't necessarily have to be like the same as it is like in here. It can just be like however it works in OPM, and he has a perception of that, and he's using that as a basis to just to like come to conclusions. Now, what leads his other entailments to be true is not his basis. It's the fact that his like let's just say he has like A, B, C, D as his entailments, right? Now what leads C and D to be true is not the fact that he has a good basis or whatever. It's the fact that A and B are proven objectively to be true. Now, this implies that the reasoning behind the two is sound. So, if the reasoning is sound, then the other fucking C and D would also be like very likely to be true. So, do you understand that?
Yeah. I agree what you're saying. It's a possibility, but I think off
No,
the best that we see, it's incorrect because one,
wait,
we have
you're
no
miss,
reasoning
you're
to
strong
wait,
manning.
let me finish. Repellent. Let me finish. Let me finish. Right? Then
No,
you
wait.
can address it. So,
Yeah,
how
I
am I
didn't.
trying? I'm just saying.
Yeah, you misheard. You misheard. Like I'm not saying possibility. I'm saying probability.
I'm saying your entire argument is true, right? I'm saying what you're saying could be. I'm trying to present like another interpretation, I guess,
Okay.
right? So, first of all, we have no reason to assume that the multiverse theory and what's we call it, one plus two and is different. So the it's most likely the same as in our universe, unless it's like actual proof is different. So his the basis for his events or the basis for his hypothesis is
Uh-huh.
one, the multiverse theory, and two, the Saitama and Gore. So off
Okay.
of that, he's making these multiple separate. interpret most statements. So
Okay.
off of the Saitama, off of the your part, we can say his hypothesis on Saitama manipulating causality is factually correct. But I
Okay.
don't. But we have no reason to assume his uh his statement of Saitama transcending space and time is correct based off of what he actually knows or his
Yeah.
hypothesis. There's
Word.
no
Word. Word.
correlation. There's no
So.
correlation between the multiverse theory and transcending space and time.
Okay. So as I was saying, I'll just respond to this really quickly, and if you don't like, if you just go circular again, we can just appeal to judgment on this point. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah. So firstly, you just like okay, like questioning the correlation between the basis and the conclusion again. That's just like retarded again because like I already explained to you why like the basis is not the reason why I'm okay. The quality of the basis is not the reason. Okay, hold on. Let me just put it better. Okay, yeah. I'm not using, like me personally, I'm not using the quality of the basis in itself to affirm the other entailments being true. What I'm using is the like the objective truthfulness of the A and B entailments, right? And the like I'm even using those for evidence for the basis being like a quality basis, right? So like okay, if you acknowledge that like my thing is possible, then it would be probable based on the entailments he reaches being true. Like okay, if we have like a hypothetical person just making like a hypothesis on something, right? He uses reasoning X to come to like a conclusion B. Now if all we know is that B was true and we don't have any context, any like further context on X, then we can assume that X was most likely a fucking sound reasoning, like a sound basis for you, like to use for his argument. Do you understand that?
Yes, and my reputation to that is, just because A and B are true does not mean because would not mean that necessarily that C and D is true. It is probable, or it is there is a possibility that off of those things it is true, but off of what we actually know, well, what he knows, one the multiverse theory, and two the transcending space and time, we can assume that he's making an untrustworthy claim because there's as far as we can tell, there's no like direct correlation between the multiverse theory and him transcending space and time. But
Okay.
I guess you consider that circular, so you can use it for the judgment if you want.
No, I mean, I'll just say one thing. Something not necessarily being the case does not like demerit its probability, so that doesn't refute my claim. Yeah, we can go to like a verdict on this. SRW, do you need like a summary or conclusions, or do you find it giving just a verdict right now?
Yeah, can y'all give conclusions for me?
Yeah, word.
Can you go first?
Yeah, no, yeah, sure. So like, okay, this point, the point that we need like judgment on is whether Janos's words would be like valid or what, right? So I'm just arguing that like, fucking like his thing, like the statement that he makes, like the entailments that he states would just be very likely to be true, right? I'm saying that because he makes like four entailments, and two of those are like proven to be objectively true. This was never challenged, right? Like the two being objectively true or whatever. So he said that because we don't know how the basis correlates to the like the conclusion, we can't say like the other things would be true or not, right? Now I already said that like okay, we know that the basis correlates to the conclusion based off him making a hypothesis and him still having a perception of the basis in mind, right? If he okay, if he has like a perception of the basis and then he like bases a hypothesis off of this and then like reaches conclusions, so like that's the evidence for the correlation being the case. Now I said that like so yeah, he was saying that because I can't demonstrate any sort of correlation between his basis and the conclusion, sorry, the entailments that he reaches, that's why his other entailments also won't be true, right? But I said no, like all I'm using as a basis is fucking the two entailments being true, and I'm also using those as evidence for the basis being like a sound and correlating basis. And he was never refuting that. He kept like going in on why the basis in itself doesn't have any demonstrated correlation. Like he never I don't know what's it called, actually actively demonstrated why the basis wouldn't have any like correlation. And I even gave justification. I don't think he attacked it. what's it called? Yeah, and even his like ending claim, which he should like hold to, was basically that the entailments not being necessarily true. That's like sorry, he said his claim was they won't necessarily be true, and I was arguing for like probability the entire time. So I just think I won the point based on that.
So the conclusion is, we know that so there's this one event that happened, the Garu and Saitama fight, and then there's also this multiverse theory. We know that Genesis is making four claims based off of those two things. Um, Repellant is claiming because A and B are correct, then that means most likely C and D are correct. And my refutation to that was, just because C and D made correct based off of A and B, I don't think we can just say that's the most probable case, because there's was his what you call it? There's no what you call it? His I'm like questioning his, I forgot I said something about, give me one sec.
You were
Basically
questioning.
because yeah, because what's the name? The robot guy's knowledge is questionable because there's no direct correlation between his hypothesis on the whole multiverse shit and the Saitama fight and Saitama transcending space and time. That one particular that one particular claim is most likely not true. I guess we can
Hmm.
give you judgment on
All right, so I'm gonna be completely honest. I wasn't actually listening to the debate as much as I was hoping I would when I got in here because what I'm doing is taking longer than I thought. So I can give my judgment now, but like if I say something wrong, like y'all can feel free to correct me. So, effectively, what Repellent's argument is, he had Janos makes multiple claims since you guys agree that prior claims are correct, and he's using the same foundation. Therefore, like later claims would also be correct. Is that right, Repellent?
Okay, wait. What we agreed upon was like he's making multiple claims. Like some of those claims are true, and like we agreed on like the foundation for all of those claims being the same.
Yeah, yeah, I know. You agreed. Like, say, I don't like. Janos made like four claims. You agreed, like, the first two, like you agreed on the first two being correct, and you're saying since the foundation for the latter two are the same as the first two, and the first two are
Yeah,
correct, and the
yeah,
latter two would also be correct. Is that what you're saying?
yeah. That's what I'm arguing. Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay, and Ace, you were arguing that it even if the foundations are correct, you still need to prove like every point individually can still be correct because the foundations can be the same, but
that.
outcomes can be different. Or
Sort of. My
okay.
I like all of that, and my other thing was there's no direct correlation between one the Saitama and Zoro, the one in the what's it called Garo and Saitama fight, because in that there's nothing that portrays him transcending time or space and time, and two the multiverse theory. There's also nothing that portrays him transcending space and time there. So we have no direct link between and that claim other than making that claim. So I'm questioning that one particular claim. Like, why he'd be like a reliable source on that.
So you're questioning like specifically on like the multiverse theory,
yeah,
like
he's
if
saying.
that's correct.
Yeah, no, he's
No,
saying like.
not the multiverse theory, not the multiverse theory.
um,
I'm saying just because A and B are correct and that makes C more likely, because A and because the initial things, the two initial things that's making this hypothesis based off of have no direct correlation to C. We have no reason to assume his knowledge on C or his claim on C would be correct.
oh, okay, that's
Um,
weird, but okay, okay.
okay, I don't entirely remember that being said, but Rapella doesn't seem to have disagreements with that. If that's true, then I guess Azrael won, because I mean
Well,
like yeah,
yeah, go
um
on.
like the foundations being correct, like if like the conclusion that Janos is coming to isn't necessarily the same as the found how do I
Oh,
put this, like if
oh wait,
all
that was never said. I'm pretty sure he. Okay, wait. What I interpreted as like him saying now, like currently, when he clarified for you was, um, A, B, C, D like lead to the same conclusion. Sorry, have the same foundations. It's just that B and C don't have any correlation. They still are based on the same foundation. But just because they don't like B and C aren't correlated, that would mean that C doesn't have any probability.
that that's what he said, isn't it?
Yeah, but
What?
that,
Can you say that
that
again real quick? Can you say that again real quick?
Yeah, but like SRW, wait, but doesn't that like not refute like my foundation thing? Because like I blatantly like put it in an inductive argument. Okay, so like I said, okay, if A, B, C, D are based on the same foundation and A and B are known to be true, so like this basically puts merit on the foundation. So if the like if the foundation is like a sound foundation or like a correlative foundation, then that would also lead to C and D
I
also
mean,
being.
like repelling, like multiple interpretations based on the same foundation aren't always necessarily true, right? Like someone. Well, okay, I don't want to like make arguments for as well, but
Necessarily,
That's
but
like,
with SW, I'm not making like a claim that's like objective. I'm making like a fucking probability claim. I'm not.
yeah. I know you're just trying to argue that it's more likely. What he's trying to say is that like your likeliness is based on like the proven foundations, the proven points having the same foundation, and like them leading to like the same outcome. And what he's saying is that like if they don't actually lead to the same like
Huh?
conclusion, then you
Wait,
disprove them
hold on.
individually.
But they're like conclusions on their own. What do you mean lead to the
wait,
point?
Repellant, let me
What do you
wait,
mean their conclusions on
Repellant,
their own? I thought they were based on the same foundation.
Wait, no,
the
but hold on.
hold on, real quick.
Wait,
Let,
wait.
let me
Ace
clarify
just
right.
hold. Ace just
Hold
hold
on,
on.
Repellant, hold on. Just one thing.
Hmm?
Like to clarify a bit more, I'm saying A and B are like correct because there's a direct correlation between uh the two things he's making a hypothesis based off of, but there is no direct correlation between C and D. So just
Oh, okay, so you're saying the A and
what
B
I
are
mean.
correlated to them, but not. Okay, wait, hold on. That was
Wait,
just.
okay, now okay, it's now you're confusing me. So, like, if what
All
why
right,
would
bro. Let
he
me hear
need
the
to prove
conclusions.
any
Fuck it.
correlation between C and D? I'm confused. I
Fuck it.
thought
Huh?
you
Let me hear the
like the way I
conclusions.
No.
was trying to
I'm saying
interpret it was that I thought you meant like C and D having correlation to A and B. Why would you care about relations from like C and D individually?
that's
Yeah.
how I'm trying to say. Oh, wait, I misspoke. I'm saying so. There's two things make trying to make a there's two things to make it claim off of. One is the Garo and Saitama fight, and two is the multiverse theory. Claims A and B are demonstrated, like directly demonstrated within those two particular things. But claims C and D are not demonstrated in those uh two different things, right? So there's direct proof in the two things these make it claim off
But
of, but there's no direct proof on those other four
yeah,
things.
but SRW. But if he's
So I'm
talking about,
questioning.
okay, hold on. SRW. If he's talking about just proof, but then like the correlation thing that you were talking about, he's just not doing that. Like he's just talking. Okay, do they have external proof? But that doesn't refute my.
No. That's not my fault. I'm just saying I'm clarifying.
What?
That's official part of
Yeah,
my
but
argument.
that's
I'm sorry.
but that's what SRW thought your correlation thing was. So SRW, what do you think? But because like I still have issues with your correlation thing, but I just think that's a complete misinterpretation of what he was saying.
Yeah, like okay, I guess I misunderstood what you were trying to prove then, Ace. 'Cause, like if that's the case, then I guess
No,
repellent
that's
went.
not what I'm trying
I
to.
don't.
Wait, that's not what I'm trying. Wait, hold on. That's not what I'm trying to. Provide. I'm trying to like explain my what you call it, substantiation for what I said earlier, which you're explaining right now.
Well, okay, wait, hold on. Just restate your conclusion for us, dude. Just restate it.
Okay, so as far as W's claims is that
We're not
because
SRW. Like just give your
what
argument, not SRW.
or so usually we agree upon um what you call it factual fact one and fact two. There's four conclusions based off of fact one and fact two. And you're saying because A and B which are based off of fact one and fact two are correct, that increases the probability of claim C and D be correct. My refutation to that is within A and B or within thing one and thing two, claim one and claim B are directly proven to be correct. But because there's nothing that directly proves claim C and D within thing one and thing two, I'm questioning what's the name? I'm questioning Oral, the Cyberg dude's knowledge on why he's saying it would be probable or correct because you get
Yeah.
You're cutting out right now.
I mean,
huh?
wait. I'm pretty sure I heard most, like, pretty much like all of his conclusion. It was basically what we thought his argument was before. It's like A and B. He's saying A and B because they have been externally demonstrated to be true. They can be true. But C and D, they can still have correlation. They can still have correlation to the basis, but they're just not externally proven to be true. So we can't assume any likelihood for them. I think that's what he's
No,
adding.
no, no, it's not a stress. I'm saying because they're not directly proven within the two things that
Yeah,
are factual.
that's external demonstration.
His
That's
knowledge.
what I mean. Yes, is that's what I mean by external demonstration. Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah.
No, I'm saying I'm at the additional part where I'm questioning his knowledge on it.
Yeah, the knowledge. Okay, word. So, yeah, the knowledge. Okay, well, that's fine as well. SRW. Does that change anything? Because I don't think it does.
Not really.
Word. So
Like, yeah, now it kind of sounds like you weren't really interacting with what Repellant was trying to prove on this point, from
yeah,
my
we.
understanding.
I brought that up as well. So we can move on. What's it called? Ace. So are you fine with? Do you want me to prove why like Platonic concept transcending is like outer versal now?
Wait, I want you to prove the correlation between the first and second scan.
No, we got the verdict on it. Like, it's
Yeah,
established as
but
an. Huh? We okay. It's established as an axiom through me getting the verdict on this point that like
no, wait,
Saito.
but I've, I've lost the point on him transcending space and time, but you still need to relate
No,
that to the
no,
laws
that's not the
law of
point.
causality statement.
That's not the point you just like lost. The point you just lost was on his claims, on whether his claims are most likely to be true. That's the point SRW gave verdict on. I even clarified this within my conclusion. I don't know why you're confused.
No, I'm saying yeah, I've lost on the point of all the claims that Zor make being true, but we still you still have to prove the claim on the reversal of time thing, on like him transcending the law of causation.
Wait,
No,
oh
right?
God.
I'm not
Wait,
sure.
hold up, Ace. What did you think you just concluded on? I'm confused.
Okay, so I think so. Zero's claims, two of them being which I'll call it. One he like has causality manipulation, and two like transcending space time based off the first scan he sent, and then the second scan is a different one transcending the law of causality.
No, that was part of his original argument, wasn't
No,
it?
that's just no, that's
Yeah,
just
like
evidence. Yeah, that's just evidence for the point that we talked about. Like that's all. Like that was evidence to prove that we know A and B to be objectively true, but you already agreed on it, so I never used the second scan.
Okay, all right.
Okay, yeah. So do you want me to prove like a Platonic concept, like a Platonic law will be very likely to be like outer versal?
How how is it transcending like space and time? Transcending on I'm
Oh
lost
wait.
right now.
Oh wait. Never mind. Oh wait. I forgot what we agreed upon. Yeah. So we agreed upon like the law that he transcends being above space and time. That was the first point that you conceded. Then we went on like the fucking statement validity thing. So now that the statement is valid and we already have the context for that point, I'll just prove to you why that's indicative of it being like a Platonic law. Are you fine with that? I'll just take that as a yes. But anyways, so like platonic ideals have basically like these fucking like okay, two main properties. First property is like them just being like abstract laws and ideals. Okay. Oh wait, never mind. He left. Why did he leave? There's no way, dude. SRW. Do you know the reason why we didn't do this debate like an hour or two ago?
not really, no.
Is because he clogged his toilet.